On July 9th, 2024, an unidentified driver made a 911 call regarding an individual that she observed wearing a ski mask in Titusville, Florida.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm driving right now, but I just passed the Cumberland off US 1, the one that's right across from Walgreens, and there was a guy in a ski mask and a backpack, and I don't want to say he put a gun in the bag, but it just was really suspicious. I don't know if there's anybody around, but he's like hiding behind a bush right now. I was driving by and I saw it, and it did not look, I was going to call the non-emergency number, but I'm driving. I can't use my phone.
Okay, and what makes you think that he put a gun in the bag?
Only because I saw him take something from his bag, not his bag, but his shorts, and he turned towards the bushes, and I only saw a handle of something. I don't know if it was a knife or a gun or whatever, but I don't want to say it was something that it wasn't, but it did not look right. His ski mask was down. He was hiding behind a bush.
Okay.
It looked weird.
All right, do you remember what color shirt he was wearing?
Black. His whole outfit was black.
Okay, and you said he was wearing shorts?
Yes.
Okay, what color?
Pants, not jeans.
Okay, and was the backpack black as well?
Yeah, black and gray.
Okay, and you said a ski mask. Was it like a full ski mask or just like a cut? Do you remember?
It was a full ski mask. The only thing you could see really was his eyes. Okay. And it was pulled down, and he was hiding behind a bush. Like, the thing that made me call was the fact that he was hiding behind a bush.
Right. Did you see him go anywhere near the building? Like, did he go inside?
No, I'm just driving by. It's just, I saw that, and I don't know, I got a weird feeling because he was in all black. He had the ski mask down. He was hiding behind a bush. I just don't want anybody to get hurt if this is something, right. And if not, then I'm so sorry for calling, obviously.
That's okay. I completely understand, and I would have preferred that you called rather safe than sorry. Do you want to leave your name or be anonymous?
It can be anonymous. I don't know the guy. I was passing by. I saw something weird.
Okay, absolutely. I do have officers that are on the way now, okay?
Okay, I hope it's nothing. I hope everyone's safe, and I hope you have a good day.
I understand. Thank you so much.
Officers with the Titusville Police Department responded to the call to find a citizen named John walking on the sidewalk. We covered another police interaction involving John in a previous episode of ATA, which I have linked in the description down below. The Titusville encounter featured in today's episode was captured on officer body camera.
Hello. Can I talk to you for a sec? Okay, we got a call, somebody wearing a ski mask. I see you're not wearing one, but somebody could think you are. Can you turn the music down for me just a little bit? Okay, somebody said that they thought that you were armed. Can you talk to me?
I'm listening to you, man. Can we start with that? I'm just exercising, okay? So, I just left my house and I'm doing the block. So,
142-10-12.
Just going my way, that's all right?
Look, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, somebody said they thought they saw a gun. I'm asking you if you are armed.
I don't have a weapon. I'm walking. I'm exercising. I would like to go now. Is that all right with you?
Okay, why are you wearing something over your head like that? Because it's scary. It's got people scared.
Man, this is not... I'm not trying to be extra, okay? All right? But...
always and forever.
Are you the IDF? Or are you... I don't understand what's going on. I'm legally allowed to exist, right? I'm legally allowed to cover as much as I would like to, right? You know what I'm saying? I just want to do exercise. I'm just sweating. I got a bunch of water on me. There's another officer coming.
Yes,
this is not what I wanted.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not what I wanted either.
All right.
You feel me?
But it's here because of me, right? But it's my fault. I said I don't have no weapon and I'm exercising, right?
Somebody called because they're getting nervous.
See, I'm exercising. You can see.
I didn't see you exercising.
But you can
I just got here. I'm trying to talk to you, and you're being...
I understand. But I'm allowed to go, right?
Look, I'm just asking why somebody would have called and said that.
I'm on the public sidewalk with a radio, exercising with a backpack full of water, right? Sweat my ass off. You do not have any right to do anything but talk to me, right? right? You know what I'm saying? And I've answered your questions, right?
You didn't tell me why you're wearing this like thing over your head.
Okay, well, I don't have to answer all your questions, right? I have the right to remain silent, right? I'm literally just being polite with you, but you don't see it that way, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking if you see it that way. Do you see
I'm just trying to have a conversation and figure out why people are calling about you.
Because
Okay.
this is, you just said it to you it's odd. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right.
So,
is that bad
can
or
you
good
just-
for me?
Can you just tell me why you're covering
Do
your
I have
face
to
up?
take off my mask? If I continue my run and my jog, do I have to take it off further? Okay, I don't understand. Is that something you can answer or not?
What I'm telling you is we got a call because
but
somebody
your call,
thought that the
you
way...
have the right to investigate. I have no reason to help you, assist you, other than telling you. You said said you have a weapon. Look, I do not have a weapon. They find something weird. You find something weird. You call, initiate somebody whose literally whole life has existed to be something other than themselves. You understand? Which is great.
Do you have ID on you?
Man, I'm gonna finish right here. I'm gonna go down here and go to my house.
Do you have ID on
Follow me, investigate to my house. Is that okay? How can you verify without stripping me naked and violating my rights that I don't have a gun? You literally, but it's not right. Are you the IDF? Are you? I don't understand. I got you. I understand.
We got a call that a guy was pulling a gun out of his backpack.
I got you.
Wearing a ski mask.
I got you. Okay.
Please see the backpack.
I'm exercising. Okay. Can y'all understand it? I'm on a public sidewalk. Maybe I know you're looking at things, right? But you're not listening. I get it. I came out I can't. Nobody's here to listen. It's the IDF. I don't understand. I'm gonna have to call
asking you for your identification.
but that's
We have a lawful reason to stop out with you.
You do have a lawful reason? What is it? What did I do?
What
did I do?
To you, a male matching your description.
That's them. That's on them and you. That's on them and you.
So what I'm telling you, bro, is
that's on them and you. Is it not?
Do you want to listen? Because no one's been nothing but respectful to you. So we get your ID or you end up going to jail for resisting.
I don't have my ID on me, brother. That's what I'm telling you.
The officers demand that John provide identification under threat of arrest for resisting, and John informs them that he does not have his identification with him. Under Section 843.02 of the Florida statutes, an individual commits a misdemeanor offense if they resist, obstruct, or oppose an officer without violence. In the 2015 case of Moore versus Peterson, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals held that Section 843.02 allows an officer to arrest an individual who fails to provide identification during a lawful investigative detention. Accordingly, the officers could only lawfully arrest John for refusing to identify himself if they had reasonable articulable suspicion that he was involved in criminal activity. On this channel, I've seen how body cams changed everything because once there's a record, there's the truth. It got me thinking, why should that power only exist in public life? In everyday conversations, missing just one detail can change everything too. I've tried recording things on my phone, but the battery dies, calls interrupt, and later I spend hours digging through files trying to find one sentence. It's exhausting. I still forget things and end up more overwhelmed than before. That's why I started using Plod Note, the sponsor of today's episode. It's like having a second witness for the moments that actually matter, one that remembers clearly, never interrupts, and gives me the details I actually need. It's thinner than a credit card. I drop it in my pocket, magnetically attach it to my phone, or set it on my desk. It transcribes with speaker labels in 112 languages and records non-stop for up to 30 hours, automatically generating summaries and to-do lists, all ready to use. Since I have a son in college, I also got him the Note Pin, which has been perfect for him. He clips it on or wears it as a necklace and takes it anywhere he goes. My favorite part is Ask Plod. I use it to search through past notes, brainstorm new episode ideas, and build quick recaps and follow-ups. I can just ask, what cases did I reference last week? And it finds them instantly. And because privacy matters, I know my data stays protected under the same standards used by hospitals and major tech companies. It's not about replacing people or judgment. It's about remembering better. Because when I remember clearly, I can see the truth clearly. I used to just take notes. Now, with Plod, I'm staying on top of everything, not just taking notes faster, but taking control. Right now, you can get 20% off with code Audit. Just use the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. Big thanks again to Plod for supporting this episode.
I don't don't understand what you want, man. I live right there, bro, in Aviles. I just left my house. I'm literally jogging with the radio going, right? I got water bottles all in my backpack, bro. What the look, guns, boom, boom, palazo, cabron, icy yellow, bro.
Okay.
I don't understand. Can I go? I literally don't even feel well. I don't have my ID on me, bro. Oh man, bro. I got.
Hands out of the bag.
Shut the up. I'm getting something, man. Here's my fucking light. Here's my shit, bro. What are you doing, bro? Hey,
Stop.
why? You got this shit on radio, on shit, bro? I live right there, man. Aviles, bro. Y'all just want to do this. I'm literally exercising, bro. This is crazy.
Stand up.
Oh, I could excite you like.
All right.
Joseph, bro. Jose P.A. For what reason? I'm literally just jogging. This is not, you know, IDF territory. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with you investigating. Follow, see me go home, see me drink water, stop, change my station, and exercise. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm ugly. I DoorDash with a fucking mask on. I run with a mask on, huh? I don't understand what your issue is. You know it's legal. It's legal. I'm literally worked up, bro, and trying to let off mucus without spitting and conversing with y'all. You understand?
Spit right there.
All right, well, you tell me, because I didn't think to ask where to spit. I wasn't being you know what I'm saying? Fuck that, man. I'm literally, y'all got cameras and stuff right on here. I'll be able to get this footage so that way,
Yeah, we have body cam.
all right. Cool.
Yep,
From the
they're all
initial,
going.
from the first jump, because I didn't get to record, thank goodness, right? But you see how there's no reason for me to, I'm just exercising. You have the right to look and watch. You know what I'm saying? And I have the right to say no, but I don't have the right to say no. That's the issue. You know what I'm saying? There's no right to say no. I don't have a gun. I even told you that. But I couldn't start with no, because it's not legal to fucking say no. You know what I'm saying? To no. It's not legal. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
John argues that he should have the right to refuse to identify himself. As we discussed earlier in this episode, individuals in Florida are not required to identify themselves if they are not lawfully detained based on a reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. As of July 1st, 2023, Section 790.01 of the Florida statutes allows eligible individuals who meet certain requirements to carry a concealed weapon or handgun without first obtaining a state license. Even under the law in effect before this change, Florida courts had already held that the fact that an individual was merely carrying a firearm was not enough to justify a non-consensual detention. For example, in the 2025 case of Shepard versus State, the 3rd District Court of Appeal of Florida applied the earlier version of the statute and determined that an officer's personal observation of an individual carrying a concealed weapon in a high-crime area did not create the reasonable suspicion required for a Terry stop, because the mere possession of a concealed weapon does not constitute criminal activity. Now, in John's situation, the officer's suspicion was even weaker, not only due to the change in the law, but also because the tip they received was anonymous. The Supreme Court has repeatedly held that an anonymous tip alone rarely provides the reasonable suspicion necessary for a lawful detention. In the 2000 case of Florida versus JL, for instance, the court found that an anonymous tip that an individual possessed a gun was lacking the necessary indicia of reliability to justify justify an investigatory stop because the tip described the individual's appearance, but it lacked any predictive details, making it insufficient to establish reasonable suspicion, since it did not allow police to assess the informant's knowledge or credibility. Now, although the 911 call here is somewhat distinguishable from the tip in the JL case because the caller claimed to have personally observed John putting an object into his bag rather than simply asserting that he had a gun, the caller admitted that she was unsure of what she saw, describing only an object with a handle that could potentially be a gun or a knife. Well, given the anonymous and uncertain nature of the tip, combined with the fact that carrying a concealed firearm and wearing a ski mask are not illegal in Florida, John has a strong argument that his detention was not supported by reasonable suspicion, and, as a result, that he was not required to identify himself.
I left. I realized, went all the way out here, come running, trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like 3 days breaking a fever, man. I need a tooth pulled out of my head, you know. I'm waiting for an appointment. So I shook a fever and everything, you know, and I'm trying to not feel like shit, you know, because I'm just sitting in a room in my mom's house waiting for the surgeon, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so why couldn't you just have a conversation with me like you are now?
All the way over there, though, you know what I'm saying? That's
okay,
it.
so understand, we get a call like this, we have to look into it, right?
Business, though, you know.
Why couldn't you just remain calm like you're being right now toward me?
But I don't have a gun. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? So I'm good, you know.
Can I go verify that you don't have a gun so we can get out of here?
Oh, I don't have a gun, bro.
Can I go verify that?
Oh, you can't. Listen, I just showed you all my
You didn't show me anything. The reason
am I allowed to say no? Am I allowed to say no? I don't understand.
I don't want to bother you.
Are you allowed to say no in life? Huh? Are you allowed to say no in life?
You can say no.
Oh, can I really? That's a grin, bro. Doesn't it?
Well, I don't want to take you to jail for resisting. You were pulling away from us. I want to verify there's no gun in there. I want to verify there's no gun on you.
Oh, I have no.
Because you could go for resisting.
Oh. I could for resisting.
Yes,
for what?
Because
no,
stop.
I don't think so, bro. Because I literally binge all the videos.
John, I will take you if you want me to.
No, I understand you will, bro.
I don't want to, though. I just want to verify you have a gun.
I think you do. I think you do. I don't have a gun. I
Okay,
literally
can I
opened
please
my
go open
bag
your
for you.
stuff?
Well,
I don't want you to open it.
You don't want this, man. This is my property, bro. I'm not allowed to at least feel like I have a right to have to walk the block from my mammy house. I just told, man, this is not cool, man. You know. Just like you don't want this interaction. I don't know.
I don't want this interaction. I would rather
some people do. Some people do. Some people see this as a necessity in order to enact change. Otherwise, this is the IDF.
What was your name?
Mine as well, right?
What was your first name?
What was my first name?
Yeah.
I told you I don't have a gun. You don't believe me. Ask them for my name.
Okay. I'm just trying to have a conversation.
If someone verified my name, tell her my name. So I don't believe anybody gonna believe me at all. What you want to do? Well, I don't understand. You can check me. You can check me, pat me down, bro. The fuck, man.
Pat your bag down.
Yeah, man, for a gun, bro. I don't understand why people. I'm just running with the thing, bro. Okay, I'm bumping music that they don't like or something. I'm just fucking literally.
If you had just talked to us, you would have been on your way by now.
Well, the thing is, I believe I'm allowed not to. And I'm wrong or not, whether I am wrong or not,
there is an extent
up to you.
Yeah, but it is up to us. There's an extent where you are allowed to people or not. When you get a lawful call and have a lawful reason.
That's not a lawful thing.
Yes, it is.
Put mixing up the names, though.
It is lawful.
But
if someone calls us and says that you're doing something, dude, it's
nothing.
ordering and prowling all day long. You're in a place at a time and a manner not normal for a law-abiding citizen, and someone's saying that you're trying to conceal a gun.
I understand, bro.
Or you're pulling a gun out with a ski mask on in front of an open business.
There's a lot of reasons to wrangle. There's a lot of ways to wrangle up our slaves, bro.
What we're telling you is that it's on everything we did is 100%
We're here to wrangle up slaves for the bank, bro.
We're not going to let you reach into a bag that potentially has a firearm in it.
More money moves,
That's not safe for
changes
anybody. We
people's
don't want to
hands,
shoot
the
somebody.
more
We
money
don't want
for
you
the
to shoot
bank
us.
system, bro.
Is there anything, Jones, you want to
know what I'm saying?
One of the officers claims that John was stopped lawfully on suspicion of loitering and prowling. Section 856.021 of the Florida statutes makes it a crime to, quote-unquote, loiter or prowl in a place, at a time, or in a manner not usual for law-abiding people under circumstances that create a justifiable and reasonable alarm for the safety of persons or property. In the 1975 case of Ecker versus State, the Supreme Court of Florida held that the statute contains two separate elements that must be proven in order to establish a violation: that the defendant loitered or prowled in a place, at a time, or in a manner not usual for law-abiding citizens, and that such loitering or prowling occurred under circumstances that threatened the public safety. This means, according to the court, that the police officer must be able to point to specific and articulable facts which, taken together with rational inferences from those facts, reasonably warrant a finding that a breach of the peace is imminent or the public safety is threatened. Here, John was stopped on a public sidewalk in the daytime hours. The only thing, quote-unquote, unusual that the officers observed was that he was wearing a ski mask, which is lawful. While the anonymous tipster claimed that she saw John put an object with a handle in his backpack and that he was hiding behind the bushes, it is lawful to carry a concealed weapon in Florida, and the officers did not corroborate the alleged hiding, as he was simply walking on the sidewalk when they arrived. For these reasons, John has a compelling argument that the officers did not have reasonable suspicion to detain him on suspicion of loitering or prowling.
No gun? Thank you. Can I have your information and stuff?
We'll give it to you.
All right.
Gonzalez 214, Elite 269, Jones 234.
I need like a paperwork. It's too much. I'm exhausted.
It's all on. You can
See, I'm exhausted from running, actually running, but you don't care, bro. I'm here because you brought me here. From where? From
Have a
who?
great day.
The next black car I see?
You can call in the non-emergency line and get all the information.
Can I get some kind of information? Or it's just fuck y'all? Fuck y'all, man.
You can give them this address and ask for the call. Yep.
After the officers verified John's identity and likely checked for warrants, they released him without further incident. It is unclear whether John has filed a complaint or intends to pursue legal action. Overall, the Titusville officers get an F for likely detaining John without reasonable suspicion, displaying fundamental misunderstandings regarding the concept of reasonable suspicion, and for maintaining a hostile and confrontational attitude throughout the encounter. The Titusville officers treated an anonymous call as if it were confirmation of a crime, rather than a report that requires a thorough investigation. The caller claimed that a man wearing a mask may have had a weapon, but when the officers arrived, John was simply walking down a public sidewalk in broad daylight, listening to music and exercising with a backpack full of water bottles. None of those actions are unlawful, and none of John's conduct created a reasonable suspicion that he had committed or was about to commit a crime. Instead of observing the situation or gathering facts to determine whether there was any legitimacy to the call, the Titusville officers immediately approached John with commands and demands, seemingly operating on pure speculation rather than any tangible evidence. The Titusville officers repeatedly told John that he was, quote-unquote, legally required to identify himself because they had a lawful reason to investigate. But, as discussed earlier in the episode, a person is only obligated to identify themselves if they are lawfully detained based on reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. The officers did not see a weapon, and their only information came from a vague and unverified description that relied entirely on a passing glimpse, and it is highly unlikely that this call alone would support reasonable suspicion. The claim that the situation could be classified as quote-unquote loitering and prowling only served to further erode the credibility of the officers. Under Florida law, that statute applies only when an officer can point to specific circumstances that would create a reasonable fear for public safety, and nothing about John's behavior met that standard. He was walking at a normal pace, speaking clearly, and answering questions. The only thing that made him appear suspicious was his clothing, which is not a crime and not enough to justify an investigative detention. This interaction highlights how fear, impatience, and poor judgment can turn what should have been a consensual encounter into a completely avoidable constitutional violation. As for John, he gets an A-, because although he failed to invoke his right to silence in any meaningful way, he remained relatively calm and collected throughout throughout the encounter, asserted his rights rationally and logically, and he did not resist the officers despite believing that his detention was unlawful. John's conduct during this encounter showed a calm understanding of his rights and a clear effort to maintain control of himself even as the situation became increasingly more unreasonable. Although John's tone occasionally reflected frustration, that reaction was largely justified, and most citizens would likely have difficulty remaining calm in the face of perceived unlawful commands, repeated interruptions, and baseless accusations. John also made a conscious effort to engage the officers in a conversation about rights and accountability. He questioned their justification for detaining him, asked whether he was legally obligated to comply, and he tried to clarify the limits of their authority. These are exactly the kinds of questions that citizens should feel free to ask during police encounters, and John's insistence on those answers helped expose the weaknesses in the officer's reasoning. All that said, John failed to invoke his right to silence at any point during the interaction, which certainly could have benefited him if he had been arrested. However, he also did a great job of dispelling any suspicions that the Titusville officers may have had about the complaint from the 911 caller, and ultimately led the officers to their realization that he was not engaged in criminal activity. I commend John for maintaining composure in the face of an unlawful detention and for demonstrating how to assert constitutional rights firmly and intelligently without crossing into aggression or defiance. But I would caution other citizens in a similar situation to exercise their right to silence more diligently. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out Audit the Court if you're interested in learning more about the legal nuance beyond the body cam.